Hello everyone, good evening and welcome to Roma Theory as Roma players demand De Rossi's extension of contract, as a lot of them feel revitalized, a lot of them feel like this is their new start, the results are coming, and a lot of them in various different interviews are making it very clear that they're publicly asking the Fredkins to extend De Rossi's contract. We're also going to talk about something very, very weird. I ain't gonna lie, this morning, then they got denied. Moving on with the day, they slowly got denied by Roma themselves, but rumors of this meeting with Manuel Pellegrini, the Real Betis manager, as potential replacement for De Rossi in the summer, to start thinking about a long-term contract, and all the hazards and the no's when it comes to that. And then, post-derby tantrum is still on. All of the protests from Lazio fans, all of the useless investigations which have been opened up against Mancini in the comments. How is everybody feeling post-derby still? As we approach a very significant week. Milan on Thursday, obviously. Not an easy game. We'll discuss about that game tomorrow in the match preview. But I'm sure that in this live stream we will have a few moments where we can look at the table and look at the current top 4 situation. With that being said, I'm going to set a like target and I'm going to go with 100 likes, for the simple reason being that if you're still happy and you're still secretly celebrating for that victory on Saturday, then you got to hit the like, because I'm still happy. I swear you're still happy as well. And 100 likes would be absolutely amazing. But where do we start? De Rossi extension. It has to be the first pivot of this live stream. I do want to start off by reading this article, which is basically referring to what De Rossi sent and told the players post-derby. So over the course of yesterday and over the course of this morning, these are actual phrases coming from De Rossi, who both repeated this a lot with his voice, and also, apparently, according to this source, also has repeated this on the Roma WhatsApp group many times. Head immediately to Milan because we can get a result at San Siro and play for the next rounds. Words and music are by Daniele De Rossi. The coach, writes today's edition of Corriere dello Sport, wanted to send a clear message to his players after the derby. The risk is that the hangover effect from the victory in the derby satisfies the players. A huge mistake in a difficult and decisive phase of the season. I want everyone to be at their best and focused on Thursday's match. The derby is now behind us and we no longer have time to enjoy it. Mr. De Rossi's words to the team in Trigoria after the victory in the derby. The Giallorossi coach is certainly still not fully satisfied. After the triumph in the derby in the 4th place, close again, now they also won the semi-final of the Europa League. But to reach this ultimate goal, they must first beat a renowned opponent like Milan. You have to feel the pressure, but in the right way. You have to respect this game, but don't fear it. For the Champions League, for the people. The message sent to the players. The first leg at San Siro on Thursday evening. The objective is to return to Rome with a result that allows the team to play for everything in that return leg. That's good, because that's exactly what De Rossi is. And he's absolutely right. There's a very big risk on Thursday's game, and the very big risk on Thursday's game is the hangover effect from the derby is going to make the players so satisfied that they're going to go like, oh well, I won the derby, let me relax a bit. And that's wrong, because especially in such a critical phase of the season, you can't accept and be happy with one result. The results and the conclusions get summed up at the end of the season. We can all celebrate like we've never done before if we qualify for the Champions League. But one game doesn't define that objective, and therefore we need to keep on giving everything and our best. Johnny, welcome to the stream. Ryo, welcome to the stream. Nitsan says, Simo about the derby, I still don't understand how Kamara left the pitch with no yellow card. Amit says, Dai Roma. Welcome, Ira Karina. Ryan Fredkin was shown on TV celebrating the win. And welcome also to MK Footy. Yeah, do let me know your comments, opinions, post-match, post-derby effects still. I'm very curious to see what everybody does think. And feel free to comment on these topics as well. This is a good article because this is effectively how to describe the Rossi. Now the players demand an extension of contract, and so do the fans. I mean, certainly, I think 99% of us at time of speaking wants De Rossi to stay. I don't want to really repeat what I've been saying in these past live streams, but there's a very important reason as to why I want De Rossi to stay. And this reason is very simple. It's the number one ingredient in football, and it's stability. If we keep on changing manager every single 2 years, we will never catch stability. The players will never catch stability. And it's pointless, and it's absolutely useless and wrong to not extend a manager who has literally been grinding results out of the bloom, and is also a manager who the players want. It would be a mistake not to extend the contract to a manager who the players feel confident with. You know, the problem as to why we weren't grinding results in the last period of Mourinho was exactly this. The players weren't confident anymore. The players were exhausted. The players were mentally and psychologically done. And that's exactly why we didn't collect many points. If the players feel good, if the players, the majority of these players completely revitalized, from Celik to Pellegrini #1, to let me name another, Spinazzola, Svilor, you know, all of these players. If the majority of these players feels revitalized from De Rossi, it would be pointless not to extend his contract, and ultimately the results are there. So De Rossi needs to stay, in my opinion, 100%. Now, this is where the rumor comes in. Now, this rumor has been denied by Roma, but I ain't gonna lie, this rumor makes me scared. It got denied by Roma, so really, I really don't want to pay too much attention to it, because if it's been denied, it means that it can't happen. Because whenever Roma denies something, and whenever the Fredkins deny something, you know, the pattern shows us that it doesn't normally happen if they deny it. But there was this rumor this morning about Manuel Pellegrini being at the derby, and post the derby having a meeting with Ryan and Dan Fredkin to discuss about a future contract as Roma manager. Now, I ain't gonna lie, that makes me scared, because I'm actually wondering, and you know, that makes me want to say, and that makes me think that the Fredkins are still considering other options before finalising De Rossi and maybe giving him the extension of contract. And I don't like this, because I think the only reason as to why De Rossi might not extend is the fact that the Fredkins already have an agreement with another manager. I think that would be the only reason as to why De Rossi hypothetically wouldn't extend his contract. Because the Fredkins already blocked the manager, already have an agreement with him, and want to respect it. That's the only thing which scares me. The only thing which I'm scared, because I want De Rossi. I want nobody else. I want De Rossi because he's just the guy you want, in terms of the results that he's been grinding, in terms of what he says, in terms of the communication levels of everything, in terms of everything, in terms of just the club legend, Romanism at its best. That's who I want. So my only fear here, which it's not a fear, it's not being confirmed by anybody, but if there are rumors about, you know, the Fredkins speaking about with other managers, it might mean that they do have a secret agreement with somebody else. I hope not, and I don't think that's the case, and I've not read this anywhere. You know, this is just my theory. But you never know with the Fredkins. If there's one thing that they've shown us and that they have deliberately done, is they've done everything behind the scenes. You know, from appointing Mourinho to signing Dybala to signing Lukaku to sacking Mourinho to appointing De Rossi. Every single thing that they have done happened without the fans being aware and with the fans being very unexpected. So my fear is that they've blocked somebody. I hope that's wrong. And I think, people might go, well, why wouldn't we go with Conte? And look, I understand that Conte might bring enthusiasm, but De Rossi brings more enthusiasm than Antonio Conte because he's ours. He's one of our own. And look, I don't want Conte. Two reasons. Number one, getting Conte means that after 3 years, max, similar to Mourinho, you will have to change manager again. Because Conte is like Mourinho, he exhausts players. From his communication levels, from his complaining, to his training sessions, to his tactics. Conte is like Mourinho. After 2.5 years, 3, you have to change. Because that's how much, that's the scale as to why Conte hasn't been staying at a club for more than 2.5 years. Number two, money. Why do I need to spend 10 million for wage of a manager when I have got De Rossi who's grinding the same results that maybe Conte would get? And number three, appointing Conte would be kind of repeating and falling on the same trap as Mourinho. If you appoint Conte, you got to back Conte. If you appoint Conte, you have to back Conte in a sense that Conte will complain. Conte isn't like De Rossi who's going to accept the fact that this is Roma, knows Roma. Conte is going to be Mourinho 2.0. Therefore, a manager who is going to blame the players, call them lazy, call them weak, because he wants his own players and because of all our finances restrictions, we will never be able to satisfy him. No, I don't want Conte. I want De Rossi. That's who I want. And, the other reason, which I think, as to why the players demand De Rossi is because De Rossi believes in them. De Rossi pumps them up. And all of these players got their faith back again. But the other reason, I was listening to a video about from Caressa, the Italian journalist. Which, by the way, in a world with Cassano, Trevisani, and Adani, I think Caressa is the last person who I would really listen to every day of the week. He's the last person in this group of incompetent journalists who actually knows what he's saying. And I was listening back yesterday out of curiosity to his video, to his comments the day Mourinho got sacked, and he said a very important thing, which is very, very important to the philosophy that the Fredkins want. The Fredkins are American. Now, what is the motto, the philosophy around American sports, the world of sports in America? It's fair play. In America, it's fair play. From college sports, from a college basketball team, to tennis, to soccer as they call it. In America, there's this reigning of sportsmanship, and in Europe, in South America, and in these countries, it's different. In America, you don't see shithousery in all of these moments, and this is exactly why the Fredkins didn't tolerate Mourinho, because he was the opposite of what they want as Roma, because they're American. And that's also why they never speak and complain, because they're stuck with this sportsmanship world. So the reason why they sacked Mourinho is exactly because of this, because it was ruining the brand and it was ruining the merchandise according to them. And in a world where the merchandise, the social media, the amount of money you get from the brand name is very important in the finances of the football club. The merchandise and everything is probably like 1/3 of the total amount of money that a football club earns. You need to be a healthy club. You need to be a club which fans around the world like. And Mourinho's Roma, starting fights on the pitch every 10 minutes, complaining against the referees every time in front of the microphones. Red cards, Mancini getting red cards, Mourinho getting red cards. That was damaging the brand. So what the Fredkins want, this is what Caressa said, and I fully agree to them, is a manager who respects the I love it. As a neutral fan, I love that. And I love this club and I'm going to buy their merch because they're a nice club. You know, he's a nice manager, and I think De Rossi is the criteria of all of this. You know, I think De Rossi is the perfect person for this. He is loved by everybody. I've seen Lazio fans go, it's a pleasure listening to De Rossi speaks because he knows what he's saying. He's intelligent. He never complains. He praises his players. He's happy with the little he has. We aren't Real Madrid. We aren't Man City. But De Rossi knows that, and he gives value to a lot of these players. So I think it would be criminal not to go with De Rossi. And reading the Manuel Pellegrini rumours, it makes me scared because he's 70 years old. I think he's not a modern coach. And I think we tend to need to be looking at not young managers necessarily, but managers who are not at the brims of their managerial experience. You know, we need emerging managers. And once again, that's why I absolutely want, and we absolutely need De Rossi. So I think that's it. I think moving forward, especially if the Fredkins don't sell, ultimately the reason they sacked Mourinho is this. Well, whether you agree with this or not, of course there are a million reasons. Results is definitely a reason. Communication, how he dealt with the Budapest final post-match, criticizing the structure of this team. These are things which the Fredkins never tolerated, and this is the mindset that they have. You know, they're from America, and as Carissa said in this video, which I found it very interesting and very true, it's the truth. You know, they want a healthy brand. They want a brand which is seen as a nice brand, as a happy brand, and yeah, ultimately I think he needs it. With that being said, we've got a massive week ahead, not just on the Europa League front, but on the Serie A front, because we need to keep this rhythm. Atalanta lost and Bologna lost points. It's our time to shine. It's our time to really just step by step, game by game, focus on every single minute of every single game. We've got a tough calendar, no doubt. And these Europa League games are going to knacker us in the league games. I fully believe in this. And I've been saying this since we qualified against Feyenoord. You know, going forward in Europa League means risking getting Champions League via the league, because it's going to take energies off you. It's going to take injuries in you. So it's going to be a risk. But we're in the quarterfinals. We're playing in Milan this Thursday evening, and we got to give it our all best, because it's what it's about. We got to make us proud. And yeah, I actually find it funny because what costed Mourinho the sack was the combo of games Lazio-Milan, and what can probably give a massive acceleration to the Fredkins giving De Rossi's new contract is the combo Lazio-Milan. Football is really crazy sometimes, and this is what we love about it. You know, the reason why Mourinho got sacked was because he lost the derby and lost against Milan. I'm not saying we're going to win on Thursday, because I don't think we are going to win on Thursday. But what if we do? Like, this combo of games, winning the derby and potentially winning in Milan, are going to be the reason why De Rossi is going to get the extension of contract. Football's weird. I mean, football's a reflection. So yeah, look, we got to give it our best. I know it's gonna be a pain playing both the Europa League and the Serie A. Games after games, and I think the chances of us getting top 4, top 5 in the league are way higher if we get eliminated from the Europa League. But we need to make our fans proud, and this is what De Rossi wants, making the fans proud and making this team get into the Champions League. And a serious team doesn't snub European games just because it wants to focus on the league. We're in it, we're proud that we're in it, we're going to make us and even De Rossi and the players themselves proud, because they're a good team, they're a strong team, and they can get a result if they really believe in a result on Thursday. It's not going to be easy. We're going to speak about that game tomorrow, because it's going to be an interesting preview. Because it's actually been... Is it the first time in the history of this team? No, it's not the first time of the history of this team. But it's definitely the first time in a long while that we have a European derby. And European derbies are very different to Serie A league games, because they're, it's 2 legs, because it's Europe, because its experience counts a lot. It's gonna be a tight game, but I also don't think we're gonna win on Thursday in Milan. If we get a draw, I think I'd be very happy because I think we can win against Milan at home. It's just playing against them away, which is hard because they're living on great form. But we're gonna speak about that tomorrow. Love the video, says Anas. Thank you very much, mate. Do you think Dybala will renew the contract? I think with Dybala, it depends on Champions League. It depends on Champions League because I personally think that if we don't get UCL, the Fredkins won't propose him a new contract and he's going to get mad and he's going to ask to leave. DDR had showed his quality. It will be insane to go with another manager. I agree. I think even if they have a secret agreement, they would go with the fans' demand, says Anas. Ira says, Manuel Pellegrini is a great coach. I would have loved this if DDR weren't already here. I've never been a fan. I know that he I know that he's had his good moments in his career at West Ham, at Man City. Did he manage Man City or did I dream about this? Betis, but still he's too old. We need new ideas. Football is evolving constantly, and Manuel Pellegrini to me is not a manager which is going to work in 2024. What's your opinion? Will Dybala stay at the... I think it depends on UCL. Dybala, I'd love for him to stay, but yeah. Maybe the Bologna downfall will start. Whether or not they downfall or not, we need to keep the rhythm on and keep the pressure on. We shouldn't depend on top 4, top 5 because of the Bologna's downfall. We need to try and get top 4 and top 5 because of our quality. Beating Bologna, beating Atalanta. That's what makes you happy. Of course, I'd love Bologna to fall a bit so that we can grab some territory and points. But ultimately, it's not about them. It's not about Atalanta. It's not about Juventus. It's about us, me, myself, and I. What can we do in these games, in these big games? How do we deal with these big games? Because they're going to mean a lot. What do you rate the derby from 1 to 10? For me, a 9 or a 10, and you're going to be in Milan on Thursday, right? I'm not going to be in Milan, mate. I tried to, and I had the chance, but unfortunately, the moment the away tickets for Milan went out, I was sitting my driving theory exam, and as you can imagine, the tickets went sold out in like 5 minutes. So I'm not going to be there. I'm going to be at home in the second leg, but live watch along will be on your way on Thursday. I would have loved to go there because I'm also in my Easter holiday, so it would have been perfect. But yeah, I didn't manage to get one. I didn't even try because Leao is in top form right now, and that's bad. How do you speak English so well? It sounds almost native. I go to an English school, mate, but I'm Italian 100%. If Dybala leaves, he'll go to Barcelona, says La Joya. If Dybala leaves, it won't be his decision, says Vincent. Interesting. Right, I'm going to catch you tomorrow with a match preview. Don't forget to hit the like. 100 likes if you're still ecstatic, enthusiastic from that Derby win. Keep on rubbing it in the Lazio fans' faces. So hit the like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I hope you've enjoyed this live stream. Give DDR the extension. Let's build a future with DDR and let's keep the stability going, especially because the players are demanding the Fredkins for the Rossi's extension. Will there be a vlog for the second leg? Yes. Smash the like. Follow Roma Theory TV on Instagram. We're like 1 follower away from 300 likes. It would be cool if we can hit that today. So yeah, follow that, subscribe, like, and enjoy your evening. Love you all. See you out.